Industry secret.
We can't read.
Industry secret, or write or count.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. Just pour something in your cup on
Just
camera.
pick one?
It's fine.
Just pick which one?
I would tell you to pick the water. Yeah, it's fine. Hey, this is just a little bit of, just behind the scenes. It turns out we fill the cups before we drink out of them. That's just an industry secret.
Next thing you know, you'll be showing them the spreadsheet. Am I right?
What? No one's even heard of that. What is even that? A spreadsheet. What is even that?
Another industry secret is our lighting looks bad.
Another little industry secret is we're tired. Another little industry secret is we're both over 7 feet tall. Another little industry secret is these are wigs.
Haha.
Another little industry secret, this is all green screen.
Yeah.
Another little industry secret.
Anthony designed the cables that show down there in Blender.
Mm-hmm. I added those specifically.
Yeah.
I added those specifically to trigger the libs.
Anyways, hi, good morning. How are you? We missed you on Monday. Of course, it was a holiday, which doesn't really mean a lot here.
All I did is sit at home quietly and think about the troops.
Yeah?
That's all I did is I sat quietly in silence and I thought about the troops.
But what did you think about them?
Pretty okay.
All right. But for the most
All
part,
right.
well, we weren't here because there was no news.
Yeah, and honestly, industry secret, it was less about the holiday and more about the fact that nobody releases news on a holiday.
Yeah. We base which holidays we decide to do shows on do we have something to talk about?
Yeah, like Halloween, there's lots to talk about.
Lots to talk
Ghosts, skeletons,
witches,
bats,
pumpkins,
cobweb,
vampires,
mummy,
bugs.
Kit Kat? Little Kit Kat for me?
Can it be Halloween yet?
Little Kit Kat for me?
Love it if it was Halloween now.
Almost.
No, it's not.
Just
almost
3 more
Halloween.
sleeps from Halloween.
That's not true.
Just 3 more sleeps until Halloween.
Well, with the amount I sleep, it might be about 3 sleeps until Halloween, actually.
I was going by my amount of sleep. Yeah. So 3 more sleeps until Halloween.
About 3 more.
Hey. How you doing, BBs?
Yeah. How's your week so far?
How's everything going?
Pretty good?
Yeah?
Yeah. Monday was a holiday. Memorial Day.
Yep. That's
nice.
the one.
I knew it.
That's the one.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was here organizing the studio. Y'all, when Anthony arrived at the studio this morning, I ran. I shuffled my little bare feet I was barefoot, to the new cabinet of curiosities we have. I've put in a bunch of bins on a shelf and I've made labels for each and every one of them.
They're all labeled like, mounting equipment, XLR cables, blah, blah, blah. And then I was looking and the USB extensions are just labeled, make USB longer.
Yes. It's actually just make USB long.
Now, I have to ask, was that a purposeful joke or was that you were tired from all day and you couldn't think of the word extension, but you also couldn't leave until you knew everything was labeled? I'll never tell.
Here's what it is. The word extension just sounded so long.
And I had to type the whole thing into the label maker and then print the label.
And I had to get it to fit on there.
It's just so long.
It sounded too long.
So long.
And look, that was one of those where it's a split label where I had to have something on the left side and something on the right side. A lot to fit. I don't think that make USB long is actually shorter than USB extension. But I've never checked it.
But who knows?
Could
and there's
be.
no way to know.
Could be.
There's absolutely no way to tell.
Could be.
If there is some sort of scientific method for figuring out whether a bunch of words is as long as another bunch of words, we don't know it, and we don't want to know it. Get your math out of here, if it is indeed math.
If that's what your real thing is.
Listen, we don't know when something is math or not.
Industry secret.
Industry secret.
We can't read.
Industry secret, or write or count. Industry secret, I have to wear Velcro shoes. I can't do a loop, swoop, and pull.
Industry secret, I use the bumpers at a bowling alley. That one? That one?
That's the one. That's the one.
Fuck your water. Get out of here. Put your water under.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
I go sleep right here.
Tell me everything.
I go sleep right here.
What's the matter?
I'm just gonna take a little nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could just take a little nap.
What are you, Mr. Balloons?
No.
Hey, we went back and we watched that crazy lizard video.
So I'm sure many of you, especially like in the range of our ages, have things that you are a part of your vocabulary that you know you picked up from a piece of media, probably like old internet media, and you don't remember what they're from. It's just a thing you say now. So for the last, I don't know, 15 years, I've been saying, yeah, right. Yeah, right. And I didn't remember what it was from, and I never investigated it. It was just a thing I said.
And it's from this video of a lizard, and I remember it was Liam Lynch animated it.
And as soon as you said the lizard, I was like, oh!
And Dan Deacon was the guy who did the voice, the musician Dan Deacon. And it was just them sitting and watching TV, and Dan Deacon narrating everything he saw on TV. And it was like, it's where that line, there's a fucking kid in the back going crazy.
Yeah.
Who are you, Mr. Balloons? Balloons for hands.
Right. So at least Jelly PB said at least 80% of my vocab is just Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
Same.
So
hard same.
So we remembered a bunch of the funny stuff from that video, and then I pulled up that video, and whoo, we forgot how many casual slurs were thrown into that early internet video.
Maybe don't look up things you remember fondly.
Although, do you want to know how I found it?
How?
I literally looked up, yeah, right, lizard.
Nice. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
King legs.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Yeah. He opens, unfortunately, by using Indian in place of native, and then
that's
continues
not the worst
to
part
use
of
a
that
gay
sentence.
slur
Yeah.
a couple times.
There's a lot going on in that video that I forgot about, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's good. I think it speaks positively to us, to most of us, that we remember the nice, funny things about the things we remember and like block out the horrible stuff because we don't want to think about that stuff. And it's not like we're recommending the video to people every day. I'm just saying, oh, we just removed that. We don't want to quote that. We don't want to know that.
Sure. I'm of a different opinion on whether or not that's a good thing.
It would be a different thing if we were recommending the video or watching the video all the time.
Yeah.
That's completely different. The fact that like there's a lot of media that I saw when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That just had bad things in it that my adult self has chosen not to remember and not to be part of my favorite things.
Totally. There is a level of privilege.
Sure.
To be acknowledged and being able to just like block out and be like, I still love this thing.
Well,
even though it was.
No. And I'm not saying we still love the thing.
We don't still love the thing.
I'm not saying we still love it. We just remembered it.
We just remembered it.
And we only remembered like 2 or 3 lines.
Because we were like weren't personally affected by it.
Sure.
Like, you know, hey, I'm going to be honest. Since a couple years ago, that F slur hits a little different these days.
Sure.
It should have probably always hit like that. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
you're like, ooh.
Ooh, we didn't need that. Ooh.
As someone who was not part of the affected party, no wonder I didn't remember it.
Rachel Isabel says my coach calls them polished memories. Yeah, and I think what you're talking about is the eventual effect The dangerous part of the effect is like when you become a very old person who remembers everything as being perfect in the past, and then you're just like, well, why can't things go back to being perfect like they were in the past?
Then you say, make America great again.
Then you say, make America
great again. As if America was ever great.
Make USB long. Make USB long.
Y'all, I want your opinion on something before we get into the news. I promise we will get into the news. Sam Curtis D brought up Harry Potter. Said some people have the same thing for Harry Potter, right?
They currently do.
Lots of people have that for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
My nephew's 7 years old, and he just got into Harry Potter.
Mm.
And my mother,
Yeah.
who partially raised him, is like, he's 7.
Yeah.
Let him enjoy something. And I'm like, no.
There are so many things for him to enjoy.
There's so many things for him to enjoy.
Enjoy so many things.
And then why let him be another person that then has to grow up and realize the thing he liked sucked?
No, you just, and that's the other thing is I'll say is that like my parents were very good about that. You know, most of the internet stuff is stuff that I found on my own.
Right.
Right. No, my parents were pretty sensitive to that, and probably like at this would not have let me read Harry because there's other stuff. We keep saying read Lemony Snicket, cowards.
Right. Animorphs.
Read Animorphs.
You know, he's a Jew.
Yeah, and when we were at Universal the other day, it was when you and Kaylee were already gone. It was me and my buddy, and we were walking around, and there's so many kids in the Harry Potter stuff, and I'm just like, the only reason your kid is into that is because you got them into that.
Right.
The only reason a 7-year-old knows about Harry Potter, I mean, the 7-year-old probably heard about Harry Potter or whatever. It's a media thing that floats around, but you have to be the person that gets them into it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that?
Right.
Show them something else. Show them something else.
So that's it. I'm just like, we could prevent this. We could prevent this. But then,
don't show them that lizard video, though. Don't show them that lizard video.
Really what the takeaway is don't show them that lizard video.
Hey, speaking of dwarves being the stand-in for Jews in fantasy media,
you reached and you got there.
Since we're talking about inappropriate things, the Lord of the Rings just got some Magic the Gathering cards.
They did. Here's the thing. That's one way to introduce it, but goddamn, hold on. Oh no. Hold on a little longer.
Yeah, keep holding. Holding. I got it.
One more second. No, I got it. Hold on. Aw. Hold on, I got it. No, I think this time I got it. Look how hot these cards are.
Smooth. Fuck. Just a smooth morning show. Now it's not about the cards.
Okay. Let's look at, hey y'all. I'm just gonna remind you all, I've never fully seen The Lord of the Rings. I have no shame about this, and you can't make me feel any. I'm dead inside.
The dwarves are Jews.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Strong start.
And they drink and they just want money. And they only trust other dwarves. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
The bloodline.
It's fine.
Anyway.
Speaking as a Jewish guy, it's fine. Anyway, check out this hot Aragorn. No, it's not working on yours. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. You simply can't do that.
I can.
Anyway, there are Lord of the Rings cards.
No, we're not just saying, there are Lord of the Rings cards. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay.
Talk about how hot Aragorn is.
I keep trying.
Look.
Do I get to?
We're trying.
Anyway, here's Aragorn and Arwen. Hot cards.
Hot cards. Now, there's been a little bit of horrific racist.
About what?
commentary.
If I had to, I can't guess. About what? What's the problem that everybody has? I cannot guess.
Hey, Anthony, again, as somebody who's never seen The Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
in the movies, is Aragorn not black?
All I remember is that he breaks his toe.
Okay. Because people seem to be, for some reason, really upset that Aragorn was black.
Yeah.
And not upset enough that they're not as hot as Aragorn. Shit! I tried again.
What are you doing?
It's just having a silly, goofy time.
What are you doing?
They're not upset enough that Aragorn is that hot. Show me another picture of Aragorn, because there's another one.
Enhance.
Enhance. Don't think he was in the movies? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I don't believe there was a character named Aragorn in the films.
Really? Is he just in the books?
Yeah, he's like a minor character. He's not even involved really.
Y'all shut up. Zoom in.
Why do they keep doing so many cars of this guy nobody even knows? That's two Aragorn.
You're
Look at
fucking
this.
with me.
It's two Aragorn
Oh,
cars.
you're fucking with me.
Why are they
'cause
doing
I haven't seen it. I get it.
Two Aragorn
I get it,
cards?
'cause
I
they're
don't even know who
laughing.
this guy is.
I don't know.
The uniter of who?
Smooches.
I thought there was I thought it was about Gollum. Aren't these the books based on the video game Gollum?
Alonzo said, see, now you can never watch the movies. They'd ruin this Aragorn for you.
I mean, look.
But wait.
Viggo Mortensen's pretty hot,
Okay.
you know?
But it doesn't stop.
But he doesn't play Aragorn. I don't know who he plays.
You're being mean to me.
I don't even know what an Aragorn is.
You're being mean to me. Show me Eowyn. Am I saying that right?
Computer, show me Eowyn.
Keep
Wait,
going.
I'm sorry. Is this a third Aragorn? Can we please get to an
'cause
actual
he's
character?
Also brooding.
Can we get to a real character that's actually in The Lord of the Rings?
Look at him being hot and brooding. I almost fell off of my chair.
Easy killer.
I can't.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, do you know that guy?
That's the main guy from Lord of the Rings, the back end porter.
Okay, show me Eowyn.
All right, well, I don't know where Eowyn is.
Well, find
I got
her.
Banishing Light.
Keep going.
I got Barad-dûr. We should probably show people Barad-dûr. For people who know about the Lord of the Rings, some of this stuff's probably neat. I don't know, Saige.
I just want to look at the hot people. Cool. Next.
Cool.
Keep going.
Bilbo's Ring.
I know about
Never
that one.
heard of it.
I know about that one.
Never? What is Bilbo's Ring about?
A pony. Ah!
You are crushing my soul this morning. Bill!
Silly, goofy mood.
It's Bill! That's Bill!
Cute.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
He's played by Viggo Mortensen.
Oh.
Broke his little ponytail. Yes! Tom Bombadil! Tom Bombadil. I will tell you this.
Oh. He's that guy?
Yeah, you're going to try to go to it and you can't show it. But she just saw who Viggo Mortensen is.
Yeah.
I don't know
recognize
I don't know
him
who that is.
from the stuff.
That's a Hobbit.
I'm going to try one more time because I relaunched it. Damn.
That's a Hobbit. Tom Bombadil, who is not in the films because Peter Jackson is a coward, finally immortalized in Magic the Gathering form. There's Boromir. Boromir was played by Elijah Wood.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood played
I've
Boromir.
heard of Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Elijah Wood? He played Boromir. See,
Also Boromir.
That's also Boromir. Sean Astin played the Bridge of Khazad-dûm.
Cool.
Bridge with legs. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Butterbur.
Okay.
These are great cards.
These are great cards.
Casting the ring into the fire.
These are beautiful.
The Dunedain Blade.
Okay. Why Wow, we're seeing everything.
Dunlan Crabane, that was played by Liv Tyler.
Wow.
Yeah. Where's this Eowyn card that you were talking about?
I got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Show it to us.
Trying.
There we go. Eowyn, Fearless Knight. Hey. Hey, Aragorn? You went the wrong way, bud. You went the wrong way.
I don't know what that means.
You went absolutely exactly in the wrong direction, Aragorn.
Was there something potentially? Is this a ship? You have a ship for Aragorn and Eowyn?
Eowyn's a giant living tree in the movies.
Stop. Stop it.
They're called Ents.
Anthony, I'm vulnerable. You can't. Please. Is there a ship?
Yeah, there's a thing.
Because
there's a thing between Aragorn and Eowyn, kind of like she's very into him, but she's a warrior lady.
Yeah, I can tell.
And she doesn't know
Fearless Knight.
she doesn't know how to show it. And then Liv Tyler plays Delicate Flower Lady. And he winds up with Delicate Flower Lady.
Oh.
Kate Blanchett's there, and when she touches the ring, she turns all mad. They added that. I don't know why.
I can change her. I agree. I think I can change her too.
There's another Eowyn.
Like, fuck off.
She's just slicing into a crab. Just getting herself some of that seafood buffet.
Tell her to call me after. Wow. These are also great cards. As somebody who knows very little about Lord of the Rings, I do know a lot about Magic cards. And they're also great cards.
Rachel Isabel's like Delicate Flower Lady, big gur. In the movie, she's just a delicate flower lady.
She went gur? Big gur? I don't get it. Guys, I don't get it.
It's mostly about Gollum.
Okay. I can't wait to play this game.
Yeah, Gollum is basically gonna
really sell all that.
I read her, all will love me and despair. So good. Why is it in there? It shouldn't be in there, but it's good.
My NDI work is what I want to know.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't it?
Do you have it turned on your Mac? I'm just asking.
Yes.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on again on your Mac?
Yes, I did.
Did you do it again and again? Did you try that one?
No, that's not me.
I don't know.
That's not me.
I don't know.
See, you know how I know it's not me?
How?
See, Alonzo was just here.
Uh-huh.
And look at what it's labeled.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to tell you.
It is. You know why it wasn't working? Hey, Alonzo, are you here? Whatever you did renamed the source PixelCircus for my laptop. How did you do that?
It's Saige's MacBook Pro .PixelCircus. Yeah.
That's why it wasn't working.
Hey. Good morning, Pickles.
That was not you?
Always Pickles.
Who else? I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a goddamn second. Anyways, there's Frodo.
That's not Frodo.
No?
No.
The Adventurous Hobbit?
No.
Partner with Sam?
You need to watch these movies because that's not right. Hey, you want to talk about? Oh, there she is. That's Kate Blanchett.
Galadriel.
Yeah. No, everybody. Listen, everybody's into Galadriel. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like they did Galadriel justice then.
Yeah. Then don't watch the Amazon series.
Lost on me.
Woohoo! Ha!
Anyways, a lot of smoochable cards. Get lost in that beard.
Pretty good. Lord of the Rings cards.
How do y'all feel about it? Are you excited? Who needs a movie when you have a Gollum game?
Who needs a movie when you have a Gollum game? Hey, you want to talk about some other fantasy worlds that aren't the most sensitive? Let's talk about
all of them.
Let's talk about CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red just lost another bunch of their top talent. You might remember that earlier this year, the main director of The Witcher 3 left to start his own studio. But now, 10 more
Woof, that's a lot.
top talent from CD Projekt Red, including Cyberpunk's director and Witcher 3's co-director, have left CDPR to form their own new studio, Blank.
Hell yeah.
Now, we don't know why. They don't really talk about why.
Is this them?
That's them. That's 7 of them.
Hey, fellas. Have you ever tried knowing women?
Not once. Not once. Now,
I'm of the opinion it should be illegal for 10 men to start a company.
why do I think of Yellow Card when I see this? This is every backstage picture announcing who's on the Warp Tour.
This is a reunion Warp Tour. This isn't a Warp Tour.
This is a Warp Tour reunion cruise. This is your favorite old punk band is doing one of those cruises.
Yeah, it's giving Taking Back Sunday.
Now, of course, CD Projekt Red been in the news a bit for crunch, for mistreatment of employees,
For making bad games.
for using that crunch and somehow coming out with just terrible games anyway. It's not surprising that after the experience of creating Cyberpunk over a period of a decade, that these people would want to leave.
Yeah.
It's no secret that they would want to go. CDPR also just laid off about 30 people because they wrapped up the development on the Gwent card game. They are no longer updating that. So it seems like it's a pretty good time to jump ship from CD Projekt Red, if I'm honest.
What if when they did, they invited some women and people of color?
Now, do you believe that there were any women and people of color at the studio to invite?
Oh, you could invite from outside CDPR.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like you're starting a company with 10 people.
But for internally, when you're talking about employees leaving, I'd be shocked if there were any women or people of color left at CD Projekt Red, and if there are,
Here's what I'll say.
get
For any
out
of
of there
you.
on your own accord.
Applies to everybody, okay? Look around you. Think of 10 people you'd like to work with.
Mm-hmm.
If all of them are white men,
Think again.
I was going to say something. Take the microphone away. Anthony. Okay, we're gonna sidebar.
No, we don't need it.
We're gonna sidebar.
Oh. Yeah.
That's a little intense, isn't
That's
it?
a little intense.
What's going on?
That's a little intense. But yes, you would hope, and not just hope, hey guys, you need to not recreate the culture you just ran from. And in order to do that, you need to acknowledge that a huge part of the culture that you just ran from was that it was a horrible monoculture. So there you go. The new studio is called Blank. They have 10 employees right now. They're looking to
Yeah, it is.
They're looking to move up to 30 employees, hopefully soon. And no announcements or plans from them yet. They're just starting up.
They plan on 29 of them being white guys.
But if it's that one, that one is going to every event and is on camera every time.
Every fucking time.
In more video game news.
What's this, a video game news show?
This is a video game news show.
Are you kidding me?
Konami, you want to talk about talent leaving? Konami officially confirmed that Kojima has nothing to do with any of the Metal Gear remakes.
Which makes sense. When they were announced, we were talking about that it was very clear that Hideo Kojima was not making any kind of involvement commentary on it.
Yeah. I think we could have all assumed it, but I guess it's important to get the confirmation.
Deal.
It's important to get the confirmation because
The
they're
confirmation's
remaking
a big deal.
3 of these games.
Yeah.
And they're just like, The official statement is they are not involved. Konami said they are not involved. You know, them. However, the development team will work hard to create this remake and also the ports so that they can be enjoyed on multiple platforms by even more players all around the world. Instead, Konami confirmed that Virtuos would be making the remake along with an internal team of Konami developers. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Konami describes the title as a faithful remake. And they also said that it's volume 1 of the collection.
Very interesting.
Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and 3. So they are planning to redo these, all of them, I would imagine.
Interesting.
All of them.
Hey, let's talk about something good.
Okay.
Let's talk about something so good. We are moving into the, just momentarily visiting the cozy portion of the news.
Oh, a little cozy times?
We're taking a little cozy corner in the news today.
Are we doing a little cozy
because
times?
quietly, right under your fucking noses, Story of Seasons, the Marvelous Games Showcase, announced 2 additional Story of Seasons games.
And one is multiplayer.
Now, you might be thinking,
Look at that cow. I
that
cannot get over still 20 years later.
Yeah.
What is it? 20, 30 years later? I don't know. I still can't get over how cute that cow design is.
So fucking cute.
That's so good cow.
So you might already know, of course, that Story of Seasons is currently working on the Harvest Moon remake. They are working on a combined version of the 2 games, A Wonderful Life and Another Wonderful Life. That was originally Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, that will now be Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. And they're working on updates to that. That's not one of these. There are 2 more games. And one of them is going to be a multiplayer Story of Seasons game. And I'm so excited about it. I want to multiplayer these games so bad. I was hoping that A Wonderful Life might have multiplayer, but they hadn't previewed anything for it, so there was no real reason for me to hope so.
Yeah, and I think if you're doing a faithful remake, I guess it makes sense.
Well,
especially
they're not,
if you
though, already.
Especially if you have plans for 2 new additional titles.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Before we knew that,
Yeah.
sure. Now that we know there's other games coming, I don't need that to be multiplayer at
Yeah,
all.
look at that sheep.
I love this game.
Look at that sheep.
Harvest Moon is one of my favorite games in the entire world. A Wonderful Life was incredibly influential to me in coming to love games. Look at those puppies playing together.
Boy.
So cute.
That is a Story of Seasons.
Right?
I'll tell you what. I
saw all seasons.
I saw all the seasons there, and this has got to be their story.
This looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited about it. Now, it isn't entirely a faithful remake to A Wonderful Life for a few reasons. They're adding a few aspects to it that they've already announced. They've added things like a level of age progression. They've combined the games to provide gender options. There's a few things that are going to be just new and exciting about the game, which I'm very, very happy about, that are good quality of life and just modernization updates.
That's
that
good.
I'm very excited for. I'll play everything.
Yeah,
they
and they
make.
have said that these 2 games, this multiplayer one and this whatever other one they're working on, they wanted to bring in a bunch of new stuff. They said we're preserving all the cherished elements of the series while creating an entertaining farming experience that will reach more players than ever before. They're talking about adding new modern functionality to it. They haven't talked too much about what that functionality is, but they kind of made this whole genre what it is. They kind of started it off big. And now that this genre is sort of really experiencing its heyday, it's good that they are saying to themselves, okay, we know that other games have come. They've added a ton of different things.
Yep.
They've modernized stuff. We need to take this series and we need to bring it up to speed with all these other series while still making it feel like Story of Seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they come up with.
And for those who might just not be familiar with it, these are the original developers of Harvest Moon that work on Story of Seasons now. There was an issue with the rights to Harvest Moon. So Harvest Moon 4, the last game that came out, which was about a little less than 2 years ago, was not created by any of the Harvest Moon creators, developers,
Yeah,
writers.
none of the Marvelous people were there.
So unfortunately, Harvest Moon 4 was a pretty big failure, but Story of Seasons is great. So if you loved Harvest Moon but haven't played one since, what you probably actually want to play is Story of Seasons. And they're all very good.
You can play, until that comes out, what Saige plays all day, every day.
Disney Dreamlight Valley. I think it's one of the greatest farming sims ever made, and I'm just very comfortable saying that. I think that they made so many thoughtful choices in this game that makes it a game that I could stick with for so long.
No, I mean, everybody I know that's into the genre is like, whoa, I can't believe they didn't need to go this hard.
They didn't need to go this hard, and it's not just a farming sim. It's more of a town sim at the end of the day. Farming is a portion of it.
Yeah, and it's also like a sim about, like, it's like a murder mystery sim.
Yes.
Like you're trying to figure out, like,
who killed
it's
Minnie
not,
Mouse.
It's not like you're trying to figure out, you know who killed Minnie Mouse.
Right.
You just need the proof.
Yeah.
You just need the proof to pin it on Mickey, but it's hard because he's powerful.
Especially in a place like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, the reason we're talking about Disney Dreamlight Valley is because they say their biggest story update yet is coming in early June. Hey guys, early June starts tomorrow.
Yeah. Now it's called The Remembering, which is a huge, huge, huge deal if you've been playing Dreamlight Valley, because the whole idea is everyone in Dreamlight Valley, all these Disney characters, have forgotten their pasts.
The forgetting has been a big thing, so the remembering is a big deal. Obviously, in this preview, we see Fairy Godmother, which is very interesting. Not a character that we've currently been interacting with.
Now, is the Fairy Godmother a romanceable option?
Oddly enough, only Goofy is.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that was super
It's a little
weird to me.
railroaded.
That's the thing that was super weird to me when I played it. I was like, I can only kiss Goofy, which is great, because who wouldn't want to? But at the same time, I want options. I don't want to feel like I'm forced to kiss Goofy. That takes the fun out of it.
Right, exactly. It's like, well, if I know that this is the inevitable path, there's not a lot of excitement in the romance in the beginning.
Yeah, and I just keep... There's been update after update after update after update, and like...
80 said
I haven't been able to put Jiminy Cricket in my mouth yet.
No.
And I want to.
80
and I think he wants it too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I like, listen, I'm not going to do it without enthusiastic consent.
Of course.
But I'd like the game to at least acknowledge the tension.
Yeah. I agree. No, I agree. 80th in the live studio audience said, you're trolling me. Hey, don't yuck our yum.
Who's Aragorn?
Please.
I've watched those movies a lot, and I think I know who Aragorn is.
I would think so too.
Talking about classic games. You've been playing your classic games on emulators? You criminal? You absolute fucking criminal?
Not that I would admit to on Beyonce's internet.
No. But
on Nintendo's internet.
But if you have been, and you follow emulators, you might have seen that the Dolphin team, Dolphin is the Wii and GameCube emulator.
Massively popular.
Hugely popular, great emulator. You might have noticed that they've been trying to release on Steam. Now, they're not the first emulator to release on Steam. RetroArch is on Steam, which is like every emulator.
Yeah.
But the Dolphin team received a not a cease and desist, but the Dolphin team was told, well, it's very interesting how it worked.
Okay.
So they indefinitely postponed their Steam release.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what basically happened was they put the game on Steam, or they put the emulator on Steam. They didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Steam, this is according to one of the developers of Dolphin, or one of the Dolphin team, Steam went ahead and basically called Nintendo and said, hey, is this cool? Is this all right? And Nintendo said, abso-fucking-lutely not, it's not all right. And I think one of the things that's going on there is obviously Valve was like,
we don't want to be responsible for this.
Yeah,
when that cease and desist or that lawsuit does come through, we don't want it to be at us.
Their legal team was like, hey, this goes through us before it gets to the developer. This is not worth the trouble of having it on the storefront.
And here's the thing. If you're familiar in any way with the way that Nintendo handles legal issues, Valve is right. It's not that that should be the case. It's that Valve is correct to be afraid.
That's the thing, is Valve's Valve's a big company. Nintendo is also a very big company. And Valve is like, hey, you know, maybe we don't want to take the time and the money to set legal precedent on this.
Yeah.
Or maybe what we don't want to do is reverse any pro emulation legal what did I just say?
Reverse any
precedent. Reverse any legal precedent. They don't want to reverse any legal precedent that's pro emulator. So like basically what we have right now is we have Sony versus Connectix, which went to I believe the circuit court. And basically the deal is the reason emulators are considered legal is because Connectix made this thing called Virtual Game Station for the Mac. And the court said, yeah, you can sell that as long as you didn't take any of Sony's code or internal information. Yes, because people bought these games and they're allowed to play them however they want.
These platforms do not offer the games.
Right.
You have to go and get your ROM separately if you want to be a little criminal.
So Valve may say to themselves, hey, if we put this up and Nintendo sends some sort of like legal thing or takes us to court, because Nintendo loves a lawsuit and Nintendo really, really wants this emulator thing reversed. All game rights holders do.
Yeah.
But Nintendo's the only one that's going to publicly say it.
Yeah.
So Nintendo might just be over there going like this, going, yeah, put it on your store. Put it on your store.
Yeah.
You know, because that way we can take you to court and then we can set a new precedent that says, no, you can't put emulators on storefronts.
Yeah. Now, it's very. Where did you get the information that Steam was the one who reached out?
Somebody on the Dolphin development team.
Interesting, yeah, because like according to this article, it just says that that Valve was notified and passed the information along to Dolphin. That they have a cease and desist citing the DMCA.
Valve was notified and passed the information along. Now that's what they said on their official blog. And then one of the Dolphin team, one of the Dolphin developers was like, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
I'll tell you what happened is they reached out to Nintendo. So that's a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And here's the thing that's really wild. There's a Dolphin core for RetroArch, which is on the Steam store right now. You could download RetroArch onto your Steam Deck and then download the Dolphin core for RetroArch.
But I have to wonder if it is easier for Nintendo to come for the platform that is exclusively for Nintendo games.
Oh, it absolutely is.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, you could go for the one that can emulate anything, or you can say you literally only made this to play our games.
Yeah.
That's such an easy argument.
No, it absolutely is.
Its sole purpose is to play Nintendo games.
And that's why they went for that. With RetroArch, it's harder.
I say as someone who loves Dolphin.
Also, with RetroArch, it's like there are 3 more steps. Like, you have to know that you can get Nintendo games off of it. And they don't really say, you know, it's not like Dolphin, which specifically says this is for GameCube games.
This is the GameCube and Wii emulator.
RetroArch is like, hey, classic computers and consoles, classic platforms. And then they go, you'll figure out what they are. So, you know, this is kind of a bummer, but I understand Steam doing it. The main reason it's great to have emulators on Steam is obviously it makes it so much easier for the average person to use them. And I believe that, you know, games preservation, particularly with games that are no longer for sale, IP that have lapsed, games where the rights holders are like legally up in the air and like they can't be re-released, those games need to be preserved and played.
Yes.
So having this on Steam makes it much easier for people to get into it. Obviously also makes it easier for people to put it on the Steam Deck. But hey, if you're on the Steam Deck, emudeck.com.
Hey, speaking of games that need to be preserved.
Yes.
Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people is potentially on its way to being lost forever.
So in 2000,
this is the second time we've referenced a Homestar Runner today.
That's right. That means it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it is.
2008, I believe, Telltale Games, one of their earlier games, one of their licenses was Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. I remember getting it on the Wii because I think it came out on the Wii first. And, it's a good one. This is a great game.
I want to play it right now. I want to end the show and go play it right now.
I know. There's a part in the game where you can flip the light switch off and then on in a living room, and it immediately starts doing, the system is down. The system is down. The system is down. The system is down. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. Telltale says that they can no longer sell it. They announced that in a blog post yesterday. They lost the rights to the game, and the series may or may not be pulled from storefronts soon, based on the slightly unclear wording of their notice, which says, we no longer have the rights to the IP and so can no longer sell or support the game series. You can still download all your episodes from the PC digital storefronts where you bought the game. Thank you so much for playing. This to me sounds like if you already own it, they can keep providing it to you, but they can no longer sell new copies of it.
Is it already there, or can you buy it right now?
I don't know if you can buy it right now, but they said they have to remove it. They can no longer sell it.
Ugh.
It sounds like what's probably going to happen is it's probably going to get delisted. But if you already own it, you'll be able to download your stuff.
It says here that it was already pulled once before when the OG Telltale shutdown happened in 2018, but it was returned thanks to the studio's like sort of revival that they had with the Wallace and Gromit games.
So yeah, this is kind of a bummer. This kind of stuff, like, this kind of stuff is a bummer, and it's happening more and more as we see corporate consolidation and digital storefronts. So all of this stuff is kind of like IPs and rights are passing to larger and larger corporations that look at the costs and look at the and look at just like, well, will this cost $13 to keep doing?
Yeah.
And then we only make 16. Well, that's not enough dollars.
Jelly PB says it is still on Steam as of this moment.
Yep.
I also want to point out, I wasn't aware of this. Currently, the Brothers Chaps are currently working on porting Dangeresque, The Rumisode Triangulate, and Homestar Runner Halloween Hide and Seek to come to Steam and itch.io.
Yeah, they announced that they're doing updates of those.
I love Homestar Runner. Homestar Runner is another one of those that will forever have impacted who I ended up because of just such a mass level of consumption.
Oh, yeah.
Of the content.
Oh, yeah.
Teen Girl Squad in particular was mine.
Arrowed. You remember when he goes, arrowed? In Teen Girl Squad?
I will never in my entire big adult life not sing the Garbage Disposal song every time I run the Garbage Disposal. Garbage disposal, what a way to go. Every time.
I, for a very long time, would just be like, whenever anything went wrong, I would say, come on, Fahua Gods. Why are you jocking me? Trying to act like you know me.
Or looking at bathing suits, going 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece.
Oh, we do have fun. We do have fun. Except for when we don't have fun.
Whoa! What's going on?
S-Sports. You know S-Sports.
Oh, that's usually when we don't have fun.
The digital games version of sports. S-Sports has been on a strike. League of Legends players have been striking because Riot, hey, should I sign up for the Kotaku newsletter? Riot basically gutted the American League. The League of League. The League of Legends.
Yeah, the leg of Zeg.
The leg of Zeg. Basically, they wanted to cut the teams from 16 to 7, which would put, if you do the math, which we don't, and if you try to do math here, we will throw you out. But it sounds to me like that over half of employed esports players, management, support would be cut, wouldn't have jobs.
Industry secret? I don't know how many half is.
Industry secret? I don't know what a league is.
Industry secret? I'm a legend.
Industry secret?
No, it was industry secret.
Industry secret?
I'm crying.
Earlier this year, the League Players Association voted overwhelmingly to strike over plans to cut the league. They said, this is not a decision LCS players have come to lightly. Countless discussions and debates were had between all LCS players in the week leading to this historic vote. One thing is clear from those conversations. Our players want to play and compete above everything else. This is a huge deal. This is going to be 70 people, players, coaches, etc., losing their jobs. Riot says that the cuts were necessary to ensure the North American leagues remain sustainable and economically viable, says the game that makes $1 million a day on hats. I know it's not hats.
But hats.
You know what I mean. It's hats.
Britt JK said that they need your sweater. I also feel like, why have we not coordinated? You know I have that as a shirt, right?
Why have we not coordinated?
Don't. You know you started that.
Why have we not coordinated?
Don't. You know you
why
started
are we not
that.
coordinated?
But I have this as a shirt. We bought them separately.
We bought them separately.
We get a lot of matching things on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But that, we just both were like, yes, we need that on separate occasions.
It's true. The players met with Riot. Riot published a long statement on their site addressing the walkout. Basically, the company has decided to play hardball. They refuse to meet the League Players Association demands for revenue, for player salaries, for scheduling, which has been, I don't know if we've spoken to esports athletes before. Their schedules are brutal.
Yes.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And Riot just wants to keep making $1 bazillion and having absolutely no overhead.
Correct.
And they want to gut this thing and get rid of these players and these teams that have basically built this game into an esport and built a lot of the idea of esports. You know, League is the most popular game in the world in terms of esports, and that is number one because League is popular, but number two because of these players, teams, organizations that have helped to make this sport happen. It's a huge deal. They're already talking about bringing in scab players to start the season.
Woof.
So completely replacing rosters and just starting the season anyway.
Woof.
This is complete garbage.
Yeah.
From Riot, which I'm not surprised by. Riot's usually full of complete garbage. Both the way they treat people internally and externally. So this is really shitty. We don't even really like League. We play it every once in a while, but we're not super huge into League. But
I did think the game was very fun.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
We're not like super huge into it, but like, I'll fucking go to the mats for anybody who's striking.
Sure.
I'll fucking go to the mats for any union.
We always support a strike.
Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, as they say in video games.
Speaking of people that are striking right now, as the writer's strike continues, we got the early release of a book, Burn It Down. Burn It Down is all about how horrifically insidious the writer's room on the show Lost was.
I believe it.
So this is from the perspective of the writers. A lot of people have been interviewed now and are having this conversation. This is from Maureen Ryan. I will say, I want to preface this by saying I've not seen Lost. But
that one's Aragorn.
Oh, not as hot as Magic cards. I don't know which one you pointed out either. So I want to be clear. I'm not calling any of these people unattractive.
I'm just kidding. I pointed at Frodo.
Shit. Anyways, there has been essentially huge expose on the preferential treatment that they showed to the white actors on the show, how in contract negotiations, the white actors were consistently paid more, on how in the writer's room, they would consistently speak of disliking the characters of color and intentionally not putting effort or sabotaging their plot lines because they disliked these people. It's all pretty fucking horrific at the end of the day. Racism, misogyny, homophobia. It's like everything, it turns out. It turns out it's like literally everything. The first chapter is available to read right now. I believe the book is still to come. Yeah, it's in pre-order right now on Amazon. But just from the first chapter alone and from the interviews that people have been doing, it's all pretty goddamn bad.
Yeah, they talk about hazing on set and in writers' rooms. They talk about, I'm excited. What I'm most interested in, to hear them talk about is the time travel season, which very famously happened during a writer's strike.
Yeah.
And you can very, very clearly see the tone and quality of the show change, and they spent the rest of the time on that show just trying to fix that shit.
Yep.
And I'm very, very interested in hearing what it was like during that, because as you know, we're going through a writer's strike right now. And we're watching sort of the networks and the streamers, streaming platforms,
Not streamers.
kind of decide. Sorry, in Hollywood they call them streamers.
I know.
Streaming platforms decide what to do for this next season of content, and we're seeing the same thing we saw during the last writer's strike, which is a lot of reality TV, a lot of game shows, a lot of like, we're putting everything on hold and we're doing things that don't need writers, even though every show needs a writer.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting to me to see how Lost continued through that season.
Yeah.
Because they technically shouldn't have been able to.
No, I mean, they brought in a bunch of scabs, right? We were just talking about strikes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a link to the Vanity Fair article in our Discord channel. It's going to be in the It's Too Early channel because there's a lot to read in here. And I think that it's important. I think that some of the conversations that were had with some of the performers in it and what they experienced and what some of the storylines they were put up with and what some of those fights looked like. One in particular by Harold Perrineau speaks a lot in this about how he was handed plot lines of not caring that his son had gone missing and tried to have conversations about how he didn't want to perpetuate a stereotype that nobody cares about young black boys.
Yeah.
That nobody cares that he's not going to care, or that
his
he's a bad
character
father.
From first season to subsequent seasons just changed, just completely changed. That kid disappeared, and it spent like a couple times. There was a lot of for a little while. There was a lot of we got to find my son, and then when they were like, well, that's not interesting anymore, and we don't care about your character, so now you don't care about that anymore, and you're dumber. You're just dumber.
So he talks a lot about that, about how consistently they tried to dilute any like storyline from his character and make him just the black guy on the show, and how apparent it was at the time. I think that this is going to be very interesting because I think that this is about something bigger than Lost at the end of the day. Like, obviously racism is bigger than Lost, but in general, the specific ways that like writers' rooms have gone unchecked in what those conversations look like behind the scenes. Because that still like very much exists in a lot of Hollywood, in this like safety bubble of nobody speaks outside of the writer's room. And I'm very curious to see if this to some extent can pop that bubble.
Yeah.
We've made some progress, but nowhere near enough. So this is going to be I think, larger conversation as we continue to talk about changing the industry, changing the industry for writers, changing the way that writers are represented, and making sure that these kind of things don't happen again. Because it's really, really horrific. So I'm posting the article right now. The first chapter of the book is very, very interesting, and I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah. In other, gosh,
What?
is it? Because
I've got Hollywood news if you want to keep going on Hollywood news.
we can keep going on. We can keep going on Hollywood news.
I've
but
got Hollywood news.
I know we got Hollywood news, but there's this news which is kind of straddles it. I think.
Let's pin the Hollywood news.
Yeah.
Let's come back to that.
Let's come back to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep going on Hollywood news.
Let's keep going on Hollywood news.
Let's contrast
baby.
that with The Little Mermaid's fucking crushing at the box office, and I can't wait to see it. Everyone is loving it so far.
About what is it? $118 million.
$118 million Memorial Day weekend.
That's a huge 3-day weekend. That's an absolutely huge 3-day weekend. And I think it's important to talk about this because there are a lot of people, and you know what kind of people we're talking about, on the social medias that are trying to talk about the failure of The Little Mermaid and how The Little Mermaid is a bomb and how The Little Mermaid didn't make the money that it needed to make.
Which is just untrue.
Yeah, look, did it open to $100 bazillion? No.
I mean, it opened to 118
But it opened to
million.
117.5 million worldwide. $28 million, I want to say $95 million domestic, $68 million international, $185.8 million over the global total right now. That's huge.
And that's huge. It's huge for Disney's live action remakes. It's huge for generally theaters and box office right now. And the way things are as we adjust to getting back out to the theaters, some of us, potentially sometimes.
Yeah.
And people think that, and this happens very frequently, specifically when you see black leads in a movie, is racist reviewers will just say that it's a failure and hope that you don't fact check them.
Well, what they want to do is they want to compare it to data that isn't one-to-one. So what they'll do is they'll say, well, that didn't open as big as a Marvel movie. That didn't open as big as a Star Wars movie. That didn't open as big as some of this other Disney stuff that opened in the past. And it's like, no, but that's not how these movies are positioned. The live action remake movies are not positioned to take $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah.
They're positioned to bring in family audiences, young kids who have never seen the source material before, and then to be long tail movies that they sell or you stream over and over and over again throughout your life.
Yeah.
And then it also boosts the sale of the original movies. It boosts the sale of the original merchandise. So there are movies that Disney releases that they expect to make $1 billion. And then there are movies that they release that they expect to make $250 million, $500 billion, or $500 million, all of these things. This was not one of their hugest films by any means.
No.
So,
But it's still a big release.
it is. It's a very big release. It was the Memorial Day #1 movie. So if you're comparing it to some imaginary ledger that you have of how much you think a Disney movie should make, well, that doesn't matter. It was #1 of the box office. It's going to probably continue to be #1 of the box office.
I ran a quick inflation calculator because in 1989, the first Little Mermaid movie opened to $6 million domestically. Of course, though, that was in 1989, so it's worth seeing what the buying power of that is now.
And that also was one of their weaker openings. It reopened because Little Mermaid was mostly word of mouth. So it was one of those movies that had a softer opening, but had like incredible staying power and a theatrical re-release.
So it opened to the equivalent of $15 million in today's buying power when you adjust for inflation. So, comparatively to the $68 million domestically that this did, I'd say they're probably pretty fucking happy with The Little Mermaid right now.
Yeah.
And people are saying that it's good. And look, not a lot of people have said that about a lot of the Disney live action remakes.
What was the entire global theatrical run of the original Little Mermaid? I want to say with like the re-release and everything was around $200 million, something like that. 220 million, something like that.
It was a global theatrical run of $211 million at the time.
So there you go. This is already open to half that. And I mean, I know we're not talking about inflation and stuff like that, but this is clearly a larger movie than the original.
It's great.
This is doing better than the original Little Mermaid.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I can't freaking wait to see it. I'm gonna try and see it this week.
People were dunking on the water effects, and I watched some clips, and I was like, "These are great. These are perfectly fine."
Everyone I know who's seen it so far said that they really enjoyed it.
What do you want to drown? What do you want to drown women like fucking James Cameron? You don't have to drown everybody in a tank.
I will say, last night I got to see Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
And I can't say anything about it, and I won't. I wouldn't spoil
a single
thing for you.
You could say why you didn't bring your best friend who's a Spider Boy to the screening of Across the Spider-Verse.
Because my 7-year-old nephew wanted to go so bad.
I'm stronger than your nephew. I'm strong. I could pin that kid.
You could.
Why didn't I get to go to Spider-Man?
He was so excited.
Did y'all love it? Was it really good? The Spider Boys went, and I haven't had a chance to speak to the rest of the Spider Boys yet.
It opens on June 2nd. It opens in 2 days. I'm going to see it again.
Good.
You go with me?
Yeah. Do you think they'll open it in 4DX?
I don't think so.
They might.
Do animated movies in 4DX?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
I'll go.
We could go do 4DX. That's what it's like.
Anyways, it's really, really good. I will just say that. I think all of the reviews so far that are selling and hyping it are very accurate.
Paviter.
What did you just say?
Paviter, the Spider-Man of India.
Uh-huh.
Is he good?
So fucking good.
I can't fucking wait. He's so cool.
I don't want to say anything. It's just very good. It's a very good movie.
He's so cool. Jessica
there's so many spiders.
Drew is there.
You have no idea.
Fucking love Jessica Drew.
You have no idea who's there.
I have no idea who's there.
Anyways, it's a very good movie. I'm so excited for all of you to see it. I can't wait for us to all be able to talk about it.
Hey, I'm sorry. This is not in the spreadsheet.
Uh-huh.
But I want to know if you had seen this.
No.
Because I hate it. So the Adobe Firefly AI stuff came out. This is a tweet by this dude that got picked up everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Said, hey.
Your AI interpreter.
Yeah. You ever wonder what the rest of the Mona Lisa looks like?
That's not how paintings work.
Get Adobe Firefly to help fill out the background with me. Here's what the backgrounds of the most famous paintings in the world look like with AI. The rest of the Mona Lisa. There is no rest of the Mona Lisa, bud.
They didn't get it all in the picture, Anthony. There was more.
He had to step back a few steps farther from the canvas to get it all in. The rest of it. As though composition was not a thing that artists think about.
No.
As though composition is not like one of the number one things artists think about. Kept going.
Oh my God. Look, there's more Starry Night. Zoom enhance.
Sure. Why end it here with the end of the canvas? Nah, there should be more. Why would you make this dark spire such a huge and imposing and just massive part of this? Why would you make that the focal point when you could add more tree?
Alex is in the chat and said the biggest problem with paintings has always been that the scope has always been too small.
Yeah, that's the problem with paintings.
The problem with paintings is that the scope has always been too small.
And listen, I went and I saw some Caravaggios, and they're big, but here's my deal. Could be bigger.
I feel like there was...
Could be bigger.
I wish they would show me the rest. I wish they would show me the rest. I was just at the Met.
Don't you think... Don't you think, Saige...
Yeah.
...that it could be a little bigger?
Yeah, I was just at the Met, and I kept looking at paintings and being like... Well, zoom out a little bit. Jeez.
Would you? Yeah. I have often looked at this, the cafe terrace at night, and thought, but what if it wasn't about a cafe terrace at all?
What about the rest of that window?
What if it was just about a lot of empty road? Why didn't Van Gogh think of that? Checkmate, moron. Here's my favorite painting of all time, Nighthawks. And let me tell you something. When I look at Nighthawks, I don't think about people that are caught in isolation together and the empty space and the fact that nothing exists outside of this diner and there isn't even a door in or out of the diner and what this liminal space is. No, what I think of, why can't I see more of outside the diner? Hey, I see that guy's he's making soda pops for everybody. But where's the bus boy? Why didn't you show the bus boy cleaning?
What about the rest of that building?
Hey, what if you left the diner? What if these Nighthawks left the diner? Wouldn't that be something?
What else?
It just could be bigger. It just could be bigger. That's all.
Hey, hit me with that 0.5 on the iPhone camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a reason they put it in.
This one's so funny.
Here's the thing about Mondrian. More square. Why not just add more square?
You know what this really fucking needs?
Here's the thing about it. It's
more squares.
It's got red and blue square, but what if more blue square?
It's not enough squares.
It could be bigger.
It could. You could just, hey, every time I look at a painting, I think, what else?
Yeah, what else? Okay. Pretty good squares, Mondrian.
But what else?
You got more for me? Or did you just give
No,
up?
but Photoshop AI does.
Hey, Pierre Mondrian, why'd you give up? Why'd you give up before it got good? Why'd you give up before? You know those TikToks of the couple that are like digging towards each other and one of them turns and walks away early? That's you, Pierre Mondrian. You walked away
the other squares.
You walked away from the good squares, you idiot.
Like that one on the right side.
Yeah.
Oh, good. The Bedroom by Van Gogh.
Here's the thing. The Bedroom by Van Gogh is an end-of-life painting by a man who feels very isolated, cut off from everybody, cut off from his ear, obviously.
Yeah.
And like just the tiny isolated area that he lives in. But what if
His room wasn't that little.
Yeah, what if he had a bigger room?
Actually, his room was pretty big.
Actually, you could just make a gallery wall out of it, Van Gogh, and you'd be much happier.
Actually, his room was pretty big, if you think about it.
Actually, Van Gogh, don't send this one to your brother. Make it bigger. Save it. Save it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put this on and on the wall of your small room.
Yeah.
And use it to get into that hustle mindset to get that bigger room, Van Gogh.
I wish that
Imagine the life you want to live, Van Gogh.
I wish Van Gogh had just showed me a little bit better, like all of the wasted space in his room.
You know what the problem with Hieronymus Bosch is? Not enough earthly delights.
But no, hold on.
You need some more earthly delights.
Hold on.
Actually, this is the one. Nailed it. AI nailed it here. AI nailed it. This is an earthly delight.
Uh-huh. This is an unearthly delight.
And this is a city delight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a whole earthly delight right here.
Yeah.
This is just a town delight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does barely holds up.
I call it a city delight when someone leaves a full ice cream cone on a bus bench.
Yeah. Got myself a little city delight. Yeah. I take out my travel straw and I just.
And then I have the little straw cleaner.
Yep. And I don't use it. You season it like a pan. Yeah, this just keeps going. Oh my God. Hey, the Arnolfini portrait, Jan van Eyck.
Yeah.
What's the rest of that room like?
Show me the rest of the room.
Did they make the bed? That's what I'm wondering.
And the answer is no.
As Jan van Eyck, what I'm wondering is why are we focused on the people in the portrait so much?
Look, there's one more.
That's not quite. That's not quite a sandal.
There's one more bit of a
sandal. But there is one more something. And what's cool about this is, you know, when you take an art class, they actually the important part is not just the couple. It's actually just this area here where Van Eyck rendered them in a curved mirror.
Yeah.
But fuck that. I want to know about a second window in that room.
Show me the chaise lounge. I love art.
Man, I love art, and I love art now that there's more of it.
Guys, he's also not posting these as a joke. This guy is legitimately like, look what we could have.
Listen.
More wasted space on art.
We could just have more trees in Botticelli's Venus. Hey, fuck the birth of Venus. Who's that? Who's that? Who is that?
Honestly, can I be honest with you, Anthony?
I want to see some conifers.
Can I be honest with you, Anthony? I've always had notes.
Thank you.
I've always had notes on Venus.
Yes. I've been like, you know, it's cool. It's the birth of a goddess. I get it. We're talking about earthly modesty versus the power of the gods. But what I want to know is, could you do more leaves if you had to? If you had to.
And I felt like the answer was no.
I felt like it was no because Botticelli never proved that they could do a full tree. I'm looking in the original painting and I'm like, this is a pretty good anatomical rendering for the time when most people weren't doing it. But Botticelli, could you do a whole tree? I bet you can't. Now we know. Now we know what he really couldn't do.
More like Botticelli.
Now we know what he really couldn't do. Heel.
The rest of a foot.
Just a heel.
That's a normal good heel.
That's a normal good heel.
God. I honestly, Anthony, I don't think this should be a video game news show anymore. Which it is currently.
I mean, look.
I think it should be an art commentary show.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Show me the rest. Show me the rest of the creation.
Yeah. Who are these two guys and why are they touching fingies? I want to know what this rock is like. Turns out another man. Turns out
that's just a pile of muscle.
That's just a pile of muscle, baby. That's what Michelangelo calls a self-portrait. Just a pile of muscle. You know what I mean?
This is wild. This is so bad.
It's so bad.
I hate it.
And this is, and here's the thing, when you zoom in on them, they're done badly.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is they can't figure out what to do. It's not good.
Again, I beg and I plead to you as somebody who has continued to advocate for the technology of AI to please stop using it to paint.
Yes.
And instead, please use it to, I don't know, make my car drive itself better.
Yeah, let's
do it to operate dangerous machinery that is killing people.
It's the tweet of, hey, can AI pick pollution out of the ocean, or can it only write screenplays?
Right.
Like, can we not?
Yeah, help me code a thing. Not paint a painting.
It's supposed to.
I would really love it if it helped deal with, I don't know, climate change.
Yeah. Why are we moving towards the future where I continue working and AI gets to do the fun stuff that I wish I had time to do?
3 things about the future. 1, trash remains in the ocean. 2, I keep working. 3, AI paints.
That's right. Little industry secret? We love to toil in the mines of capitalism.
A little industry secret is the children yearn for the mine.
Yeah, a little industry secret. AI will do a much better music than me anyway. I don't even want to learn an icky instrument.
Ew.
What would sit and write a novel? God, no, thank you. I'd rather look at more spreadsheet, thanks. I'd rather go to meeting.
Should we do one of those, let AI write an episode of It's Too Early?
Yes. But we should actually just pay Keaton Patty to do it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, people are, and here's what's up with something like this. This sort of thing, what they're really doing is recreating, in all honesty, the work of artists who have done these as fun experiments before. Like, we've seen artists that post things where it's like the continuation of album art, right? And it's like they'll put like an album art with just somebody's chin and they'll put it like in a full thing, or people who will paint the outside of stuff just as like a fun, like, here's a fun thing that I did. And that's kind of cute. And it's fun when somebody does it. This is just like, you're taking a meme that we've already done and you're just beating it to death. You're just beating it to death.
Alex referenced the time that him and I were hosting a show together and we were using AI Dungeon and it started using slurs.
Oh, what was the time to slur? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it only took about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it'll only take about 5 minutes. Somebody was using, did you see the story about somebody who used ChatGPT to write a contract? And ChatGPT started citing legal precedents that didn't exist, that it made up, because ChatGPT knows.
I also do that in meetings.
Yeah, it's like, according to Fargo versus Blorp, you have to give me 3 pieces of candy if we're going to continue the meeting today. More. AI like literally was just like, well, I know that in these contracts people cite things.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to cite some things. Done. Hey, I just wrote you a contract.
Kind of how the Disney lawyers do the contracts in Florida.
That's also how I do everything business related.
Just cite things.
I walk in with a briefcase full of cookies. And I sit down at a table and I start just talking in loud words that I know people have used before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, therefore, quid pro quo on the night of the 17th. Quid pro quo, right? That's what it is.
It is.
That's where if you don't pay me, I get a free crow. You have to make, in order for this to work, you're going to have to make the crow on my street be friends with me.
You have to offer it something shiny.
And I need that in a net 30. You have to catch the crow within 30 nets. I understand legal.
Look, we're running out of time. I want to give you 2 quick pieces of news.
1. Industry secret.
Industry secret.
Industry secret. We've had 4 snacks already today. That's piece of news number 1.
Okay.
Number 2.
Industry secret.
Industry secret. We don't know who comes in here in the morning and turns on the camera. We just assume that we're talking to people.
We never actually learned how to stream.
How does it work? Industry secret.
Industry secret. This is how you hold hands.
Industry secret. We're holding hands.
My hair is in there.
Industry secret. Don't tell anybody, but it's not really holding hands unless there's hair in it.
Good, it's good.
Industry secret.
Okay, no, we're staying like this. So let me just show you this really quick. We have one actual piece of news, but I just had to before we get to it show you this.
Industry secret. Martin Scorsese is gonna talk to the Pope and make a movie about Jesus.
So industry secret. Martin Scorsese already talked to the Pope.
Industry secret.
And was
Martin
like,
Scorsese talked to the Pope about making a Marvel movie about Jesus.
It's gonna be Jesus from South Park.
It's called Secret Wars, and Jesus is the Beyonder. Think about it.
In genuine seriousness, Martin Scorsese accepted an invitation to meet with the Pope and has decided to make a movie about Jesus. And I just think that that's very funny.
But to relate it back to the last story, he's making a movie about Jesus, but it's based on that AI image of the Pope wearing Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese went to talk to the Pope because he thought that the Pope had fire fits. He was like, oh my God, I got to see this guy with the fire fits. Who is that? The Pope? Great. I'm going to make a movie with him.
It's like he's in the room
It's
with
like
us.
I love a Marvel movie.
I love he also said it right back at me. It's like I'm in the room with you.
Yeah. It's like, it's because I am. It's the magic of film.
Okay, actual Jesus or but the random guy on the cross? Look at this. Okay.
He's making a movie about that Korok on the cross.
The Pope said to Martin Scorsese, "This is your work as poets, storytellers, filmmakers, and artists to give life, to give body, to give word to everything that human beings live, feel, dream, suffer, create, creating harmony and beauty."
Yo, the
Will
Pope's never seen a Scorsese movie.
Will they criticize you? All right. Carry the burden of criticism. Also, trying to learn from criticism, but still, don't stop being original, creative. Do not lose the wonder of being alive. And to that, Martin Scorsese said, you know what's original? The story of Jesus. Why? You know what nobody's ever heard about before?
To give life, to give word to everything that human beings live, feel, dream, create harmony and beauty. This man has never watched Casino. The Pope's never seen Goodfellas. This is not, if you did, the Pope, you might know that harmony and beauty, not really what Scorsese's about.
Never read the Bible either.
You never read, listen.
Also gonna say, not harmony and beauty.
Industry secret, the Pope's never read the Bible.
Industry secret? Neither have I.
Industry secret? I can't read. How would I read a Bible?
Okay, the last piece of news, which is like real news that we've been meaning to get to this whole show. And
Bible word's so small.
Postponing it.
Bible word's so small. Bible page so thin. Can't read a Bible.
I can't read a Bible.
I can't read a Bible. Not in this economy. Gotta let the AI read the Bible for us.
That's really what we're hoping AI will start doing. AI hasn't read enough of the Bible. Anyways.
Maybe the AI needs to go to church. You know what I'm saying?
The AI needs Jesus.
Maybe the AI needs Jesus. Hey, thank God Martin Scorsese's here to bring Jesus to the people. Finally.
Guys, we got a trailer for Silent Hill Ascension.
Do you remember when Mel Gibson made a movie about Jesus and he just couldn't help but be anti-Semitic?
Yeah, I do.
I do. As a Jew that lived in Florida at the time,
Yeah.
I definitely do.
I will admit, the Bible does kind of read like AI wrote it.
Too many begats. It got caught on that recursive language. It was just like, and
Yeah.
Ezekiel begat Zosenflesh, and Zosenflesh begat Harbenstank, and Harbenstank begat.
It's just referencing, it's just making references because you know it's supposed to make references.
Yeah, and Harbengat begat the Grimace.
It's
And
contradicting
the Grimace
itself.
begat the Grinch.
Yeah. Anyways, Silent Hill Ascension. Silent Hill Ascension is an interactive digital series. When you see the title or when you see hashtag Silent Hill Ascension, I'm so sorry to everybody who didn't know about this and thought that there was a new Silent Hill game coming. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it is. It's one of the ones that we talked about that they announced, but
It's like kind of a game and kind of not a game.
it's a lot like
Until Dawn.
it's a lot like an Until Dawn.
I'm curious to see where it falls between the scale of Bandersnatch and Until Dawn because they're marketing it like Bandersnatch, not like Until Dawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're marketing it not as much like a game, but more like a series that you will watch. But also, Until Dawn is kind of a thing that you watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's on the Until Dawn side and less on that one interactive episode of Kimmy Schmidt side.
So
See, I feel like it chats with me.
It's new characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entirely new story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a freaky trailer. It does look like a video game, which makes that very strange. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna do something, and like, it's hard because you want it to look like Silent Hill. But then if you're doing something that's like just an interactive series that you can watch, you could also make it look less like a video game and more like an animated series or like a really good, like it still looks like a video game. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a tough thing that's like right in the middle where I'm like, it doesn't look good enough to just be a series to watch. It's a level that I like expect from a video game or, you know, one of those like super massive games.
yeah. So they previously, when you look at GenVid, their previous games were The Walking Dead Last Mile, Pac-Man. They did the Facebook version of Pac-Man, the community version of Pac-Man. They did Rival Peak, which was an interactive reality show.
Okay. I
So-
guess that's probably why.
So I have a feeling this is definitely more like you're saying, like the audience is saying, definitely more choose your own adventure, more Bandersnatchy, not as much one-to-one gameplay, but they do have a history of one-to-one gameplay in these games. So there might be some fully interactive portions, but I think it will be mostly about decision making.
I don't have a problem with it being mostly decision making as somebody who loves the Supermassive games, who loves the Dark Pictures anthology. Until Dawn is one of my favorite games of all time. I see less game. I
Yeah.
see less game.
Yeah,
And
and it's-
Until Dawn has just the right amount of game.
Yes.
Any less is a problem.
Yeah. And I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. The bigger thing is like, this is not the Silent Hill game that everybody wants.
No, obviously.
You know, when they've been talking about Origins or the remake of the original and some of this other stuff that's coming on, the all new one that's apparently being worked on. This is apparently like, I think they're putting this one out first because they know that we're just itching for some Silent Hill. This will probably
And they're
come
right.
out at a slightly, not a budget price, but it'll come out somewhere closer to the $30 to $40 mark, I'd imagine.
I'd be upset if it's 40.
Yeah.
I think it should be 30. I think that should be if I'm really just watching something, if you're giving me Bandersnatch, Netflix gave it to me for free, babies.
Yeah.
Hit me with a $20, $30 price tag. I'm gonna say $29.99.
Yeah, I'd love to see it hit at 30 as like a side story thing that gets us into some of the new lore for Silent Hill that might be coming in the new game that eventually comes out. I enjoy this. I think that's an interesting way to go. You certainly don't want to announce this alongside or after a big full new Silent Hill game. I see why they're doing it now.
Yeah, I love Silent Hill, so more Silent Hill is good. That's just a fact. I am excited for this. I just saw it and I clicked on it and I was like, ooh, and I was expecting a little more game.
Yeah.
And I got a little more watch. And that's okay. I'm adjusting my expectations to
But
that
I love
now.
a game and watch. Industry secret.
I just want all the Silent Hill.
I want a Silent Hill game and watch.
A little like handheld one.
Yeah. Hey, This show's way over.
This show's way over. It was over 15 minutes ago.
This
We
show
gotta
is
go.
done. Hey, industry secret, this show's done. This show's fucking over, babies.
It's so over, and we gotta go.
We got to get out of here, babies.
But hey, babies, it's okay. You don't have to miss us for too long. We will be back on Friday. We do this show usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except for when we don't.
Yeah.
At exactly 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Which is its time it's always been. Anthony, when you're not here, where are you?
Oh, you can find me everywhere at A Carboni, except for on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni.
Find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. That's it. That's most of it. Look, we do this show.
Hey. Look
into my eyes.
Hey.
Industry secret.
Industry secret.
We do the show for free.
Industry secret. I'm dead behind the eyes.
Industry secret. There's a lot of ways that you can help us keep doing this show.
Industry secret. This is where I cry from. Right here.
Industry secret. My vision is a minus 3.15 this time, which is significantly worse than the last time I got my eyes checked.
Industry secret. I had them shoot lasers into my eyes and now I'll never die.
Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you can help support the show. You can do things just like showing up and watching. That's the number one thing you can do. You can join the Discord for completely free. You can follow us on social for completely free. That's very cool and it helps us out. You can do things that aren't free, like donate during the show. Donating goes directly to your host that you see on screen for helping us to do things like eat and pay our bills. You can do things like support us on Patreon where you get bonus content. You can subscribe because it's nice of you.
It's nice to be nice.
It's nice to be nice.
That's an industry secret.
Those are most of the ways.
That's the biggest kept secret in the industry is it's nice to be nice.
So true. You can tweet about the show in the morning. That's also very cool is to let a friend know that like you're watching the show and you like the show and you think that they should watch the show.
We put the show up on YouTube.
Flatlander.
We put the show up on
did that
YouTube.
this morning.
You could tweet about the show at night.
You could tweet about the show anytime you want.
Yeah.
You can tell anyone about it anytime you want.
We just put it up on the world.
You can also post things that you want to see us talk about in the Discord because look at this.
It looks like I'm closer to the TV than I really am.
It does. Hey, I just wanted to shout out this thing that Jelly did. Said, I used AI to figure out what the rest of It's Too Early looks like.
That actually is pretty realistic. That's actually if
very good.
That's actually very good. And if AI could do that well most of the time, I think more people would be into it.
Ooh, it looks like Skywalker just put something new in there, a little more about the Disney Dreamlight Valley update. But Skywalker suggests stories, and we appreciate that so very much. We think that you're excellent, everybody. Thank you. This is also very funny in the Discord.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grumpy Steen, for that.
That's the secret of her smile, finally.
Anyways, get into the It's Too Early channel on the Discord. It's a good place to be. It's a fun Discord channel, and thank you for suggesting stories, okay?
Yeah. When people say something is fun in a forceful tone, you know you can believe it.
Yeah.